Hello everybody, welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join me for Championship Review Round 13 Part 1. Remember, because of the schedule, we are splitting these midweek ones into two parts. So I will be talking about all of the Round 13 games that happened last night, which was Tuesday night, and we will do the remainder of the games tomorrow morning, the ones happening tonight, which is Wednesday night. Obviously, for my OCD, the fact we have 7 on one night and then 5 on the next isn't great. I would much prefer, obviously, 6 and 6. But what are you going to do, hey? What are you going to do? What you're going to do is we're going to say thank you, first of all, to Russ, who is the fan sponsor of the Championship Review Show. And when we get to the first game, you'll see why Russ, of his Norwich persuasion, might have mixed emotions. There are our results from last night, round 13, the first day of games. Luton 1, Birmingham 1, QPR 3, Rotherham 2, Stoke 2, Norwich 3, Wycombe 0, Huddersfield 0, Preston 0, Blackburn 3, Barnsley 0, Brentford 1, Bournemouth 2, Nottingham Forest 0. So where are we going first? We are going to Stoke 2, Norwich City 3. Now let's just wind back a few days. And we were looking at Norwich coming up and my ideas that these 3 relegated teams were all going to push away. And I said, Norwich, their next load of fixtures, if they get through the next couple of games, say with 4 points, they really now have a chance of pushing on and hammering home a real automatic promotion challenge or championship challenge. They've won both of the games after Middlesbrough at the weekend and won, and winning last night against Stoke. However, there is also a parallel narrative here with injuries with Norwich and a suspension now to a very key player as well. So, I should mention Stoke as well. Stoke pushing towards the edge of the playoffs. They had that mad 4-3 win. Tyrese Campbell in great form as well. Was this a chance for them to take a scalp of one of the Year 1 parachute teams? There's your Norwich team, and you'll see already the red card by Buendia and the paramedic sign by Tim Krul. We talk about this at the end. So Krul in goal. Aarons, Hanley, Gibson, Sørensen. Fair play to Hanley and Gibson. I never thought I'd see Zimmerman on the bench for Norwich. Still, no Quintia at left back. Tete comes in for Skip. So Rupp on the bench. The evergreen Tete. Buendia, Stieperman, Josh Martin in ahead of Placheta off the left with Teemu Pukki up top. For Stoke, Bursic in goal this is his second game, has conceded a lot of goals in the 2 games he's played so far. Fox, Bart, Suter, Smith, Tim and wingbacks. Klukas scored that great goal now in partnering John Obi, scored a great goal against Huddersfield at the weekend, didn't he? The informed Campbell with Fletcher and Powell up top. And there is Emi Buendia. And I've said this about Norwich for a while. Watch this goal back. I think it's Martin and then Stieperman and Pukki, and the ball moves quickly out to Buendia. Buendia, who is acknowledged on this channel repeatedly as clearly too good. What is that on there? It's annoying me. Clearly too good for this division. And when they click like that, no one lives with them, do they? Buendia into the box, a bobbly finish, but it's a lovely move the way they open them up. And I did not suspect for 1 minute, game 13, end of November, I would be talking about Emi Buendia still being at Norwich and in the team and playing really well as well. So just dominates the championship, that guy, doesn't he? And so does this guy. I mean, what a goal this was. as well. It's Buendia in the first instance, and I'm a big Buendia fan. He's a great player, but he's just dropped this one over the top into the channel for Pukki to run onto. He has no idea he's going to end up with an assist here. What a goal that is. And I don't even think we can criticise Bursic. 2 players put in position on him. It's just a brilliant finish. Pukki's going to hit that on the left foot. Half volley, nice and early, right into the corner. Brilliant goal. Absolutely brilliant stuff from Pukki, who is now starting to rack up that output that made him a 29-goal striker in 18-19. So, excellent stuff from Norwich. They go 3 up. Pukki played through this time by Martin and just punishes them, goes around the keeper, sticks it in. At this point, Tim Krul has gone off with a hamstring problem that Russ, our fan sponsor, actually has texted me that they think is going to be 6 weeks. Now, Tim Krul had been playing brilliantly for Norwich. So, look, we'll talk about that at the end of the when we've done all the match stuff. For all my eulogising about Emi Buendia, he does have a silly streak, doesn't he? He's been booked here, and he gets a second yellow for that high foot. And after 3, I hear every Sheffield Wednesday fan saying Josh Windass was sent off, straight red, for exactly the same thing there. So, interesting one, that. I'd be interested in your views on that as to why Windass was sent off and then a game week later, days later, seemingly similar challenge. Maybe it's because it didn't catch. I don't know. But red card. So it'll only be a 1-match ban for Buendia, which is good news for Norwich, given we're going to talk about the injury problems. It's then 10 against 11 and Stoke push on. Campbell heads in. He's in great form, isn't he? And then Collins heads in from a corner. And Stoke fans will want me to mention the fact that there was a goal disallowed towards the end of the game. Another corner, very similar to the one that Collins scored from. I guess it must have been Klukas if it was from that side, with the left foot. And in it goes, and there's some idea that the keeper got away with one there, because it didn't look too much of a foul, but it is what it is. Didn't get given. We move on. You debate it in the comments. I'll let that one go. There are the numbers, and it's pinch of salt time, isn't it? Because again, we've just had some very confused Norwich fans all season, frankly, to the point where 6 weeks ago I was saying, look, they're winning tight games. They're not quite clicking yet. They're not quite playing well, right? Then they went top of the league at the weekend, and the same Norwich fans are saying, oh, we're in second gear, and this is too easy for us, and we're top now. And I'm like, yeah, I said you weren't playing well, and you disagreed, but now you're telling me you're not playing well, and that's because you're too good for the league. And a lot of this was based on shot count and things of that nature. So have Norwich clicked yet? I think they probably have. When I see some of the goals that are going in, and the nice slick passing, when I see Pukki scoring, and when I see Buendia and Pukki combining, that would intimate, yes, they have clicked. And my view is, Pukki on his own in the Championship, brilliant player. Buendia on his own in the Championship, even better player. Buendia and Pukki together playing well at the same time, that is Norwich clicking, because that will win you a disproportionately high amount of games, because those two have proven at this level just too good for it when they combine together, aren't they? So with all that being said, 24 shots to Stoke, only 5 on target. We just remember Norwich fans arguing the reverse in previous games. Oh, we had 24 shots. So look, it's gone the other way round in this one. However, as I always say, big chances are revealing. 2 big chances for Norwich, and that one astoundingly good finish by Teemu Pukki there. But look, 3 shots on target, 3 goals. Efficient. Remember when Reading did that, everyone said they won't be able to keep that up. But I think it might be a bit different here for Norwich. And we do need the mitigating factor of the 10 men as well. And when the guy going off is Buendia, who is so pivotal to Norwich winning, then you can see that. 35 clearances for those Canaries at the bottom there. So Norwich, I do believe they have clicked, but they're also in that mode of just finding a way. So I think I've moved on a bit from a few weeks ago where I was like, oh, I'm not sure where this is going. I think they've clicked, but the big mitigating factor is they are just finding a way, whether it be taking the one chance and surviving the missed pen at Borough, superb finishing in this game and then surviving with the red card here. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think the good players have clicked, but they are still just finding a way. And they are in outstanding form. I think that is 7 wins and 2 draws in 9. I might have that wrong. I'm just trying to do the maths in my head, which is just superlative form. They are 27 points from 13, which is my 2 points per game club, which is excellent, and doing really, really well. Stoke, a little more inconsistent, a little more stripy there. Win-loss, win-win, loss. Campbell playing well, team settled. I maintain, I think I can read Stoke better than I can read Norwich at the moment, that Stoke will continue that grind and eventually they'll move up into 6th or 5th place and be in the playoffs. I think Michael O'Neill will ensure that. Now, the interesting parallel narrative I was talking about was the injuries and the missing players at Norwich. So my assertion from the get-go was that if Norwich kept Farker, Webber, Pukki, Aarons, Buendia, they'd be promoted. They've kept all 5 of them. So everything looking lovely in that regard. But big load of injuries. I do still maintain, though, the 2 most important players. I know Pukki had a hamstring issue last night as well, so I don't know about that. And Buendia has a 1-match ban. The 2 most important players, they will still be able to put out on the pitch. And this is in my opinion, if you look back at 2018-19 where they won the division, Buendia and Pukki were pretty much fit all season, and for that entire run of playing well, either of them barely missed a game. I know Pukki had a red card at the end of the season, didn't he, in a suspension or whatnot, but they barely missed a game, the 2 of them, did they? So I think that's the key thing. However, Tim Krul has been absolutely brilliant this season, and maybe one thing I didn't notice is that Tim Krul also played every game in 2018-19. We're going to find out how important Tim Krul is to Norwich, because he's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks or something going forward with a thigh problem. He's been absolutely brilliant for them, and in these tight games, he's been absolutely key, hasn't he? Because he's played really, really well and kept the wolf from the door defensively, let's just say. Is McGovern a step down? Yeah, of course he is. Krul's arguably, you can debate it in the comments, the best in the division as a goalkeeper. So it's going to be very, very interesting. I think it's Coventry they've got at the weekend without Buendia and Krul. And this is not to mention, I'll forget one, so smart me up in the comments. Dowell, Hernandez, Cantwell, McLean, Quintia, Mumba. I'm sure there's more than that, but that's 6 I can name off the top of my head, sort of first team decent players. And again, I will say, because every other club that hasn't just been relegated from the Premier League and doesn't receive parachute payments, their fans will be saying, if we had that amount of injuries, we'd be playing the under-17s by now. So it is true that Norwich have got terrible injury troubles at the moment. It's also true that they, along with Bournemouth and Watford, are best equipped to deal with that. So again, 2 things can be true there, guys. It's not binary in these issues, and we have to be nuanced in our thinking. So very, very interesting times at Norwich. On the one hand, they're in brilliant form. They're winning. I think they've clicked. The 2 key championship cheat codes of Buendia and Pukki both playing well. However, the injury crisis and maybe this other key Championship player, Stuart Webber, from what I've heard from him, would certainly agree. Tim Krul, now injured also. So, interesting times there. So I think Stoke, easier to read the trajectory than Norwich going forward. But great stuff from those Canaries. They're top of the league. They're 27 points. Stoke in 7th with 21. Wow. Bit of a long one there. Sorry, bit rambly. But a lot to say there about the Norwich situation and our current leaders. And Bournemouth could have been our current leaders. If Stoke had managed to get back to 3-3, they would have been our current leaders, because Bournemouth win again. Well done, Jason Tindall. He's turning that over very, very nicely there at Bournemouth. Good job. 4-3-3 again, looking similar. We did the watch-along, didn't we, of Bournemouth-Reading. What a game that was at the weekend. And the tweak he made at half-time with Lloyd Kelly going left-back works. So that stays the same. Adam Smith comes in the other side. He did not play in the last game, did he? I'm trying to remember. Could be wrong about that. Begovic, Smith, Mepham, Cook, Kelly, Lerma, the other Cook, and Stanislas in midfield. Brooks, Solanke, Danjuma. Who was it? It was Rico. I can't think. I don't think Smith played right back in last. I can't remember. I really can't. It's Jack Stacey did. Yes, so one change there. Adam Smith coming in. There is the Forest team there. We suspected that Guerrero would come out now. And it was Samba, Ribeiro, McKenna, Figueiredo, Christie, Yates and Colback sitting with Amiobi. I'm sure Arta wasn't a 10. I'm sure he's a bit deeper than that. Lolly and Lyle Taylor. This one is going to end 2-0 to Bournemouth, so they keep up their good work. There is Stanislas. We've just seen him pop that in the net. That's just a straight ball through the middle. I'm not sure who played it through. Let me know in the comments. And Stanislas goes through. Samba comes out and he just nicks it past him for the opener. God, have fun debating this one. There's 2 of these in this game week as well. Wait for the Preston Blackburn penalty as well. So this is Jack Colback on Dom Solanke. And the question is, where is Dom Solanke's left foot? And what is the ruling here? My understanding is if you're fouled and your foot is on the line of the penalty box, then it's a penalty. I can't quite see where it's landing. It's certainly touch and go. I'd need to read the wording on that, because also, what happens if your foot would have landed on the edge of the penalty box, but because of the foul, it doesn't? We could be in interesting territory. No doubt, if you're replying in the comments and you have a Nottingham Forest badge on your avatar, you'll say that's not a penalty. And if you have a Bournemouth badge on your avatar, you'll say it is a penalty. So the referee said it was a penalty, and Stanislas gets his second of the game, and that is 2-0 to Bournemouth. There are the numbers, 56-44 on the possession, 12 shots to 11. Do you know what? Forest, despite you can see the 3 defeats in the last 5 games, they're in these games. I have to say, I know sometimes under Houghton it's hard to tell, but when you actually look at the underlying numbers, yes, low on the passes, but look, 2 big chances and 2 big chances missed with 5 shots inside the box. So in terms of chance quality, XG, things of that nature, I haven't checked the XG, Forest are in this game, and I still maintain they will move up the table. Just a couple of tricky fixtures in this past 2 game weeks. I'm just trying to rack my brains. I can't remember who they... Barnsley away, wasn't it, at the weekend, and losing at Bournemouth. So I'm not too worried about Forest, and I think there's enough for them to climb away. Bournemouth, brilliant. Look at that. 3 wins on the bounce. Only the 1 defeat in 13 games. And who's that? It was Sheffield Wednesday, wasn't it? Goodness me. 26 points from 13 is the 2 points per game club. They also have 21 goals, which is only bettered by, or equalled with Stoke, and only bettered by Blackburn. So a lot of good signs at Bournemouth that Jason Tindall is doing a very, very decent job there. And they were my prediction to be the one team that came in from the Premier League that would not be able to cope with the Eddie Howe leaving and Tindall coming in Ake and Ramsdale and Wilson leaving. They're doing a damn good job of it, and they're in second place. So well done Bournemouth, and well done Jason Tindall, who a lot of people, including me, questioned that appointment. It is working so far. It is working. Is that something I can say about Brentford as they get the win? Barnsley 0, Brentford 1. And I've said going into this game week and the last that Brentford are lower than they should be, not winning enough games yet. They haven't clicked. They're slow starters, blah, blah, blah. A win changes things, doesn't it? Because all of a sudden those draws and you take the victory and you move up a couple of places and it's now an unbeaten run rather than a winless run. So there you go. They won at Barnsley. Do we ever even have to read the Barnsley team? It's unchanged pretty much again, isn't it? Certainly that back 1-3, that back 8 is, I'm not sure on the front 3, but I think it might well be. Certainly the system, the shape, the central midfielders, the wing-backs, the goalkeeper and 3 centre-backs is unchanged there. For Brentford, well, Janssen being back is great. So you've now got last season's back 5 with most of last season's midfield 3. They're missing Norgard still, but Brentford fans have been quite high on Janelt so far this season. Fosu is in that hole down the left, vacated by Ben Rama. With Tony and Mbuemo. I spoke in the preview about the need now for Brentford. Who's taking that position? Godos? Fosu? Kanyos? Or are they going to have to change shape? I don't know. But Fosu's come in and they've got the win in this one. So I wonder whether he keeps the shirt. Good news there. Ivan Toney with the goal. What a goal, by the way. From the corner. That is Toney. Second nearest Brentford player to us, basically, if we're looking from the camera, who's just looking over his shoulder, having glanced a header beautifully from nearly sort of 10, 12 yards out on an angle right into that far corner. He's had a great season so far, Toney. Well on course for a really, really good output. And check that goal back. Really superb header by Toney. So there are the numbers, and this is what I'd call a typical Brentford one, isn't it? I know, was it a handball shout, I think, which could have changed things as well. But look, very dominant performance, I think, all the way down. 68% on the possession, 13 shots to 3, 6 on target to 1, 12 corners to 2, 3 big chances to 0, not even counting the one they got, 10 shots inside the box to 1. I think we say, and we've been full of praise for Barnsley, who up until this game, on the 5-game run of form, were the form team in the league with the 12 points, weren't they? Well beaten in this one by the look of it. Brentford, decent now, and you start to look at an unbeaten run, don't you? It's amazing how narrative changes on a win. If they lose that game, they're 4 without a win. Whereas they win it, and you can start saying, okay, look at that last 5, 9 points is decent. Can you now roll out 9 or 10 points over the next 5 games and hit sort of 30, above 30 points by that 18 game mark? And yeah, things are then starting to look up, and you'd expect to see Brentford moving forward. Dare I say, and I know there is a load of 5 more fixtures tonight, but my assertion that Stoke and Brentford would be the ones possibly joining the 3 Year 1 parachute teams, the Norwich, Watford and Bournemouth, with a challenge from Bristol City and Swansea, and we'll see where Reading ends up. Starting to look, as of today, like that might happen, although obviously you can see Borough and Millwall both playing tonight could put a bit of a spoke in that. So good win for Brentford. Get your thoughts in the comments if you're Barnsley or a Brentford fan. On that one, at the Kenny, it was Luton 1, Birmingham 1. Draw for both. Unhelpful slightly, I guess, but Birmingham in their position trying to be solid and hard to beat, aren't they? So a draw is hard to beat, isn't it? You're not being beaten. Luton, they're trying to be competitive, but they've been very good at picking on games where they're kind of favourites in that moment and going and winning them. And maybe they'll see this as a chance missed to do that. Luton there 4-3-3. Not much of note in there. Looks unchanged. Glenn Ray playing centre half there with Pearson at right back. Don't think we've seen that before. Martin Craney and James Bree on the bench as well. I wonder if SofaScore have got that shape right. But let me know if you're a Luton fan. There, Lee, Collins and Cornick. I believe Collins didn't start last game, so he comes back in. Birmingham front two there with Hogan and Jutkovic. And the new Croat not featuring there. Halilovic. I'll work on my pronunciation of that one. So, yeah, the three at the back. Jake Clark-Salter playing there. We have not seen him. Have we seen him this season? I wonder. He doesn't last a game, so I hope it went okay. He's going to be taken off after 75 minutes there. Here is the opening goal. That is Elliot Lee sliding in and raising his right arm, giving handball against him. Jutkovic slams this hard and low. Sluga pretty much dives over the top of it, but just the pace takes it in, and Jutkovic gets the goal. Interesting one, this one. That is Pearson. He's hooked the shot goalwards. It's kind of right at Etheridge, and he sort of waves a paw at it, and it bobbles away, hits the post, and then goes in. So Etheridge will be a bit annoyed with that one. And that is 1-1 for the match. Do I even have to read out the numbers when we know it's Karanka? Look, 43% on the possession, 16 shots to 11. Two big chances to one in Birmingham's favour, though. And that was the case against Coventry, wasn't it? That they're in the game, they end up with a draw. And were they to take their big chances, they would be winning games. So maybe it could click with Birmingham. Who knows? They're down in 17th there. 3 wins in 13 though, and just the 10 goals in those 13 games is troublesome. Luton, great stuff. Look, it's 4 unbeaten. Look, obviously we're just talking about Brentford doing exactly the same thing. I judge Luton and Brentford by different standards. Rightly so, because Luton are only in their second year up in the Championship, survived last season and pushing forward this season. 9th position at the moment. 19 from 13 is decent. Will they look at that as 4 unbeaten or 3 without a win? I guess with home draws, they'll probably look at this 3 without a win. But big thumbs up for Luton and Birmingham. Well, they're 15 points. They're away from the real muck and bullets at the bottom so far, aren't they? Preston 0, Blackburn 3. Two sides that have confused me this season. Obviously, Preston, awful home record, really good away record. And then they lost an away game and then they won a home game, which went against what they had been doing. Blackburn seemed capable of just destroying teams at certain points. However, again, we've got Blackburn destroying a team after a red card. So it's just interesting, Blackburn, because you see some of the goals and the goals in this game, you think this team could really, knock some teams about a little bit in this division. And still, I can hold up. Look, Coventry was a red card where they won 4-0, wasn't it? Derby in a horrible moment, they won 5-0 there. No red card, I have to say. Wycombe, red card in that one as well. I think they were already 2 or 3 up, though. So maybe I am barking up the wrong tree. But it just seems Blackburn, when they do press home and win a game, they seem to really go to town. And then tight ones, they're not winning. Which won't get you through the season, will it? There is your Blackburn team. Fairly standard. Gallagher in up top for Harvey Elliott, who's presumably rested, been playing well. We're going to see Tyrese Dolan in this game. He's going to score a goal. 2, Preston look more settled, don't they? Ledson and Brown in central midfield, so still he will still rotate, won't he? But Reece starting consistently up top now for the Lily Whites. And here we go again, like the Forest one, is we're going to have to play where did the infraction take place? And it's so difficult. That is Rafferty and Gallagher. And when they're running together and there's a bit of holding, it's just so hard to say, okay, is it the first time he touches him? Is it when he gets a good grab? Is it the point when the guy goes down? I don't know. Is there a foul? Probably. Where is the foul? I don't know. So, I mean, the key question there is there a foul? Because if there is a foul, then I don't think even the most staunch Preston fan could agree that's an obvious goal-scoring opportunity denied, isn't it? And the red card would come out. Is it a penalty or not? I'm not sure. Is his foot on the line there? Has the foul already happened? Is he going to fall into the box after the foul? I don't know. You tell me. All I will say is, once again, please let's not just have it where Blackburn fans say it was a penalty and where Preston fans say it wasn't. Let's hopefully get some neutral views and let's get some nuance to it. Not to if you think if you're a Preston fan and you think it's outside, then just give me your reasoning. All that being said, Rudd gets close to that, doesn't he? Adam Armstrong, our top scorer in the league, whacks that one in the corner. That must be sort of 12 for the season for Armstrong now. Tony and Pookie both scoring, and Campbell on this game week. So the big high-scoring strikers all at it, weren't they? There is Ben Brereton making it 2-0. Look at number 8 there, and if you get, that's Joe Rothwell. If you get a chance to watch this back, it's a brilliant assist. Drives, sprints through central midfield, moves left on the run, angled reverse ball, splits the defence to make it easy for Brereton. Great work by Rothwell for that one. And then Brereton returns the favour. There is Tyrese Dolan there. You can see Brereton, top of the picture there, has squared that for Dolan to stick it in for 3-0 to Blackburn. And another big win against another team that suffered a red card. They're confusing me, Blackburn. But look, very dominant. Look, 75%, 17 shots, 3 big chances to 0, 6-5-2 on the passes. The red card was fairly early in the game. And fair play to Blackburn, took complete advantage. And they whack on another 3 goals to their very impressive total of 25 in 13. Nearly touching 2 a game on the goals. 18 points there. And look, Blackburn now moving into some form there. 8 points from the last 4. Sounds like 2 points per game to me. Sounds decent. Can they now convince me, win some tight games, keep Armstrong scoring, and move up that table? Looks like, with their attacking players, they can do it. But can they? Let's see what happens. Preston, oh God, just look. Loss, win, loss, win, loss. Weird home form. 5 wins is as many as Brentford and Luton and Blackburn, who are a couple of places, 4 or 5 places above them. But just so erratic and inconsistent this season. All over the place, Preston. Who knows where they'll go next? 5 straight defeats or 5 straight wins. Wouldn't be surprised at either, honestly. QPR 3, Rotherham 2. Mark Warburton will be very pleased with this victory for Rangers. Paul Warne, less so. Kakai and Hammerlinen are back as fullbacks, so out goes Wallace. Masterson and Barbe, don't know where Rob Dickey is. Cameron and Ball with Willock, Chair, Samuel there, and Dykes up top. So quite attacking, I think, there. Rotherham, well, they're very stable. We normally get the same sort of back 4. I think it's been a 4-3-3 more recently. Trevor Clark is a new one on me. Looks like he's playing wide left there, but Barlaser and Wiles we've seen. Vassell in. I don't think we've seen him starting regularly, have we? Helping out Big Smith at the top. So Ladapo, Hurst, Crooks, Miller, Lindsay, all on the bench. We've seen all of those guys starting through the season. And I wanted to make a comment about this goal because Rotherham defend well with numbers. However, they've conceded this same goal 2 games running now where a player hits a shot from the edge of the area and it's almost like they've got too many players in the defensive low block here. And it's a double deflection. Remember Matt Grimes' goal for Swansea this past game week? Chair's shot is actually going to take 2 deflections on its way past Blackman. And if you said to Jamal Blackman, what would you rather face? No defenders in the way and fancy your chances, or 3 defenders in the way, but you've got to face a deflection. I'm just saying, is there a sense that you can, and are Rotherham, being too defensive there and having too many players engaged back in low positions? I don't know. You tell me. Great second goal here, whipped in from the right-hand side, I guess from Joseph soon. And 2 players in there. I guess that's Vassell, blurry, but Michael Smith. Matt Smith's Doctor Who, wasn't he? Headers that one. He also plays for Millwall. for 1-1. You can see Johan Barbe thinks that's offside. This was a great goal by Bright Samuel. You can see the two Rotherham players there been sent for an absolute sandwich, haven't they? Samuel comes in, really lovely zigzag slalom run, inside, outside, slams the finish home. Is he settled? Does he want to stay for the season? Are we going to stop with the transfer rumours? Because if he is, he's a damn good player, and he shows it there. 2-1, Samuel with the goal. QPR fans, answer me this. Lyndon Dykes scores another penalty. Has he only scored penalties? I think he must have 3 or almost 4 penalties already this season, Dykes. Very good penalty taker, I have to say. Very cool, slowly runs up down the middle, slams it. I think maybe he's one of these confident strikers that waits for the keeper to go. But I don't think he's scored any from open play, has he? Someone will correct me if I'm wrong about that. But Dykes makes it 3-1, none the less. And for whatever reason, I don't have the 5th goal, which I think was scored by Freddie Ladapo from a follow-up from an Ehekwe header. Apologies for that. I think the header hits the post and Ladapo just comes in from 2 yards out to make it 3-2. My friend Iain, who's a good friend of the channel and supporter, told me that don't be swayed by these stats, that he thought that QPR were by far the better side. The numbers play quite well in Rotherham's favour, but Iain would have watched the game and it knows way more about Rotherham than I'll ever know. But look, there are 3 big chances into the bargain. Only 2 for Rangers. 349 on the passes, 307, 52 to 48. So despite what Iain says, the numbers tell us it was tight. But obviously I'll bow to his superior judgment. QPR have got 10 points in the last 5 games. That's excellent. Very, very good run for Rangers here. Moving up to 13th. And as I always say, 2 points per game, any time in the season, over any more than 2 games, you take that. That's decent. Be happy with that. So well done, Rangers and Warburton there. Rotherham is worrying. 4 defeats in 5. There is that little gap still with Coventry on 9 points. However, they play tonight, don't they? And so do Sheffield Wednesday and Derby County. So worrying for Rotherham, the amount of defeats and the paucity of victories. However, 3 is currently as many victories as Forest, Cardiff and Birmingham as well. So we'll see how it pans out for Rotherham. Always competitive, but 4 defeats in 5 is 4 defeats in 5, isn't it? Moving on, Wycombe, speaking of competitive, Wycombe 0, Huddersfield 0. Wycombe, impressive run continues of being very, very hard to beat. They drew 0-0 with Brentford at home at the weekend. 2 clean sheets, 2 points. And maybe Gareth Ainsworth is just saying, look, let's just make this really, really tough. Get inside people's heads and make them think when they come here that they're going to have a real struggle to come and play against us. I mean, contrast that with the watch-along we did Wycombe-Swansea, where Wycombe looked miles off it, didn't they? And Swansea were cutting through. Honestly, no exaggeration, could have scored 4 or 5 by half-time. This is a different Wycombe, isn't it? So well done, Ainsworth, for making them so much more competitive. When did Gareth McClary go to Wycombe? He seems like been at Reading for years. Akinfenwa on your dimmer, Kashka up front with Gaypad and Arian Thompson there. I'm sure, given the running ability of Kashka and on your dimmer, that could have been a 4-5-1 defensively. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from Wycombe in terms of being competitive. I'm seeing a settled shape, and the results are improving, and they're becoming harder and harder to beat. Horgan and McClary maybe giving some quality off the bench as well. Huddersfield, very staid and solid, aren't they? Toffolo and Bakuna, we always look at the fullbacks for Huddersfield, that important to their play. Campbell, Diakabi and Benza up top, so Karoma gets a rest. Schofield in goal for this one. Remember, I think Pereira, it was him who played at Stoke and didn't have the best of days, did he? 0-0. We don't have any clips, but we do have the numbers that tell us what we thought they would tell us. Very tight in terms of most underlying numbers, other than the possession, which we would expect that it's Corberon v Ainsworth, 65-35. But 9 shots apiece, 3 on target to 1, 6 corners to 4. Only the one big chance for Huddersfield. I think that would be Naby Sarr, who hit the woodwork. And unless they class hit woodwork as a different thing, I don't know how SofaScore ratchet their numbers there. But Sarr from a free kick there hit the post. So look at the tables. Wycombe have 8 points from the last 5 games. And this is what I would say a consistent run now of being competitive and picking up points at a rate over those 5 games, albeit only 5, that will keep you away from relegation. If you keep doing 8 points from 5 games, you ain't getting relegated. So where are the wins? That's the issue there for Wycombe. Only 6 goals. So it looks like they're going to have to be terribly efficient, and they have been to already get 2 wins from their 6 goals. In fact, 2 wins and 3 draws out of 6 goals. So 6 goals is 1 point for them in 5 games, which obviously intimates some 0-0s and maybe some 2 low-scoring wins, a 1-0 and a 2-1 I think they've had. But good stuff from Wycombe. Huddersfield truck on 4 without a win. We're generally impressed, big picture, with Corberon and how Huddersfield are competing. However, if that becomes 6, 7, 8 without a win, they will descend down the table and they're just going to want to move up ahead of that bottom 6. Aren't they? Tonight. Oh, every time I see that word now, I sing a blooming New Kids on the Block song. Shocking. Tonight. It's about 8 songs, isn't it? Millwall versus Reading, 7. Middlesbrough versus Derby at 7. Steve McLaren in the technical director's position now at Derby, working with Racine and Rooney, maybe short term. Whole video on that yesterday, check that out. Coventry versus Cardiff, big game for both of those. Could do with a win, couldn't they? Swansea versus Sheffield Wednesday. Pulis goes to Wales. Bristol City versus Watford. We will be here, right here, on this screen now that you're probably watching on. I will be in this chair, looking at that TV there, doing a watch-along for Bristol City versus Watford. Really looking forward to it. Might be a tight one. 3rd against 5th. Come and join us for that. That's the show, as Bill Maher would say. We need to thank Russ again, Russ Peaker fan, and now a friend despite Ben's terrible taste in football teams. He is our Championship Review Show sponsor. Get your thoughts in the comments as ever. I will put the time codes in this, so if you just want to know about your team's game, check it out. But obviously, we want the subscriber base here to be invested in the whole division. We want this channel, these chats, this comment thread, these videos to be the best videos for the best chat and analysis of the Championship. I need your help with that. I do a lot of work, but I need you watching the games, getting your knowledge up and commenting in a nuanced, balanced way with your bias left at the door. So help me out in the comments by doing that. Right, that will do me. What else have we got on today? Fantasy League and the watch along. I'll be doing a Patreon video as well. Also, check out my silly Jose Mourinho song and my silly Neil Warnock song. All a little bit of fun. There. Right. It is over and out from me. See you tonight for the watch along. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.